I love reading, but the downside of reading is that you never feel like there can be enough time to read everything you want to. It's one of the world's most unsatisfactory hobbies, but at the same time, incredibly fulfilling. I wanted to see how much I could read in a week amongst regular things that I do, like grocery shopping, making time for thrifting, cooking, what have you. So I wanted to challenge myself to read more than I typically do, but then also to see my patterns of reading and how much I could. I may or may not be attempting to see how much I can read within a week. I attempted this one time before and then I was just a little too, I didn't read a thing. So I was too embarrassed to continue the experiment. So now for real, I'm gonna try to read as much as I can within a week just to see what's gonna happen in this video. One book I'm starting tonight called You Are Here by David Nichols. I predict that I'm going to finish that book. I'm going to challenge myself to finish that book. The second book is a psychology book by a psychotherapist called, I think it's called The Bad Parts. And I think I'm going to get 40% of the way through it. I'm a medium slow reader, so this isn't that great for me. If I was a fast reader, this would be a lot more fun, but I'm here for a good time. I'm not here to measure my time, except for right now. So we'll see. I completely forget to detail the books that I'm reading at all. Basically the book No Bad Parts is about essentially how your brain is kind of split up into different parts that protect you from your trauma. I found it to be very fascinating, but honestly the first part is starting off a little slow. You Are Here by David Nichols is written by the same person who wrote One Day. The start of it is basically between two people who are not yet connected, but they get connected on this walking trip basically through their mutual friend, and we're kind of just slowly being introduced to them. I'm not gonna lie, it also starts off a little bit slow, but I knew it was gonna get good because the way that they talk is just kind of very quirky, broken people. So I was excited to get into their quirky brokenness as time went on, but honestly it only gets better as it picks up. Something cool about the Kindle, not the Kindle app, is that I can see the images, whereas on the Kindle app, I don't think that I could. Two main characters are now starting to stick with me. They're named Michael and Marnie, both divorcees, both are carrying baggage on their walking trip. Michael is more so the geography expert. He's a geography teacher. Marnie, I forget what she does. No, she's a copy editor on this trip to kind of just get away from her life and get out of her little cave that she lives in. Same with Michael. And you can tell that they're going to get together in some way, shape, or form, but it's just taking forever because Marnie has this crush on this other guy who's not Michael yet, but we're just kind of waiting for them to get together. And I love hearing their innermost thoughts because this is a book that is based and thrives in introspection. But it is moving a little slow so far. No Bad Parts, not gonna lie, it's just one of those books that I'm kind of just intaking passively. Nothing's really melding to my mind. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so day 3, I just did not get any book content, I guess. I don't know how people are making time in their day when they have really busy days to read. Basically, I just didn't have enough time in the day to read. But essentially where I'm at is in the book No Bad Parts, I'm about to DNF it. I'm about to DNF it. I don't DNF until tomorrow. Spoiler! But the book just that when you're just not vibing with a book, but you're should I keep it up for the sake of just finishing it because I started it and I don't want to waste time? I just decided that it's just not worth it for me to just trudge along in this book. So yeah, I'm about to DNF No Bad Parts, and then I'm picking up this new book called Cultish, which I'll get into later. And I'm in the middle of, not in the middle, we're kind of at the beginning of You Are Here as well. I'm not quite sure as to what the description is happening, or I'm not quite sure as to how to describe what's happening in You Are Here because I can't remember where I was at. But yeah, I'm so excited to talk about Cultish. Day 4 reading is so much better because I DNF'd, no bad parts, finally. Oh my god. And I started reading this book called Cultish. I love reading when I'm just like sitting down on my couch, basically on the verge of sleep, but just on height of my comfort. Or if I'm just going to the grocery store walking around with an AirPod in my ear. Anyway, the book Cultish is essentially on the way that we in everyday language use kind of cultish language. And the book focuses on the fact that there are good cults and bad cults, and there are casual cults and very prominent cults, and about how the language that we use, the language that cults use, is meant to kind of divide, and the way that you can tell the difference between something that is a cult and something that isn't a cult is just the idea of cults like to use you versus them, and then non-cults can kind of use like exclusive language, but doesn't always have to be so divisive. Anyway, loved my introduction to it. I wanted to get into it, and I wanted to surpass where I left off on No Bad Parts, because I was an hour and something minutes in, but I think I did surpass it because I was so into it. And yeah, I'm very happy with where I'm at. And then You Are Here, I can't remember where I'm at with that, but Cultish pretty much was taking up my whole day with that. Okay. Excuse the pimple. I know it's distracting. I know. I really appreciate books that are very focused on inner dialogue and the kind of conflicting things about interacting with other people when you suffer from the human condition. Literally just being kind of a more introverted human being, a very introspective human being. It is hitting most of the things that I like about a book, which is just like introspection and social commentary. Other things as well, but I think they're going to come along later because this is David Nichols and I like books that are focused on grief. I have a feeling this is going to get a little sad, but we'll see. Guys, this is my friend Paco. Say hi to Paco. We can't afford him. He's very expensive. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, Paco. I've always wanted to buy a book from the thrift store, but every time I'm like, I don't have the energy to sift through and find a gem. You know what I mean? I just finished Cultish. It was so good. I'm going to need 3 to 5 business days just to marinate on all of the great information that I learned. I can't wait to talk about it because it's going to be one of those books where I'm going to just bring it up randomly in conversation and be like, so, heard of any good cults lately? And then somebody's going to be like, what are you saying? And I'm going to have to be like, oh, I was actually reading this book called Cultish, about cultish language and about how we all partake in cultish language, and sometimes cults are for good and sometimes cults are for bad. And yeah, I just read a whole entire book on it. You want to hear about it? Oh my god. I'm so excited. It was so good. It took me from I finished a day early and I was anticipating me only reading half of an audiobook. And now I read the whole thing. So now we'll see if I can finish You Are Here, which I don't know, maybe I can, I don't know. Wow, what a ride, am I right? Honestly, editing this back and watching it back was not as fun as living through it, and it makes me feel like my progress is extremely slow because I would only be progressing by a certain amount of percentages until the weekend, and then the weekend was when I was able to make like big impacts, which of course, but it almost made me not want to post this because I was like, this is not even exciting. Like there are people, you know, just like that constant, just like, I can never do enough. I can never read fast enough, but that does not matter in the grand scheme. It does not matter. Anyway, my final thoughts. I would read Cultish again. I would even write a paper on cults if I was in college right now, just so I could refer back to that book and then read similar books because I found it to be so fascinating. The You Are Here book has really picked up for me. The two divorcees, everybody kind of is slowly dropping out of this walk that they're taking, and they're realizing that they could potentially be a good match, and they're kind of getting a little bit of tension going. I am nervous because the only thing that I know of David Nichols is One Day, and I didn't even read the book. I just watched the Netflix series like everybody else, but I have a feeling if it's anything like that, it's going to get sad, and I don't want to see these people go through hard things. I'm into their inner monologue. I don't want to really see them have anything that threatens their relationship at all. Their relationship that hasn't even started. Yeah, I feel like it was a success. Yep. I feel like this was a successful reading just because this was a little bit more than I typically read. And I'm happy that I at least finished one book and got to half of the other. And hopefully I'll finish this book soon. We'll see how, I'm gonna review them at the end of the month, I think. So stick around for that if you want to see it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever time of day it is, I hope you have a valuable morning, afternoon, or night.